Sam, for the listeners, one of the interesting things about you that is really great is your take on all things safety culture that you've lived over the past, few years in your career, and your videos for the listeners who haven't seen you yet, because I'm going to say that, preface it yet, because after this podcast, they're going to start following you and
Yep.
they're going to
Yep.
start listening and watching your videos and just getting a huge chuckle out of what you're doing, but also realizing there's some like a thread of truth in these these
Yeah.
little vignettes that you're putting together that are
Yeah.
absolutely spot on and hilarious. And so tell a little bit about how you've kind of in your business and your side hustle here with Hop Nerd that you kind of put this together, and so listeners kind of get a build, feel for you.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably start with maybe some of the backstory, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we live in this age where you're always constantly, especially if you have a business, if you're in business, especially in business for yourself, you're constantly sharing stuff on social media. It's just a part of our modern world, and especially our modern business landscape, right?
Right.
And I decided early on that I didn't like making some of this content stuff. And so I realized though that I did like making stuff that was useful. I did like making stuff that was funny, things that made me chuckle. And so I started making these videos, right? And I started making these videos, and I make them with this guy named Daryl, right? And I keep getting accused that I am Daryl. I am not Daryl. I'm not definitely not Daryl. I keep hearing these things that sound like I've never seen you and Daryl in the same room together. I hear stuff like that. I hear this thing like, "Why are you and Daryl wear the same watch?" I get a lot of this stuff. But Daryl's just a collaborator, but it's Daryl the safety man. And I had this kind of thought that I wanted to make these videos that really highlighted the things that I found frustrating, maybe in the world of safety and health, things that I would see play out working in organizations that even me as the safety pro, and then maybe that person across the room that's, the pipe fitter, right? My buddy that's across the room, that we kind of look at each other and we kind of do the silent thing of like, I know this is stupid and you know this is stupid, but we're not stupid enough to say that it's stupid. like that kind of no,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
nonverbal communication that you develop with folks that you work
Yeah.
with.
Sure.
And
Sure.
so I wanted to start highlighting those things. And I mean, I don't know how many there are at this point or how many we've got made altogether, but I'm just going to call it 100. There's probably 100 or so of these things out there or coming out there soon, right?